We're not going to talk about the election right now, unless the corrupt Hillary machine can register all the illegal aliens as fast as possible, which is what their plan is. They don't even have to register them. The most evil one is Jerry Brown, who just converted motor vehicle bureaus into instant registrations for non-citizens. It wasn't bad enough that they have a one-party system in California. Jerry Brown now wants a no-party system. He doesn't even want elections. If you get enough illegal aliens into the country, you could probably have them vote to never vote again. He could put a ballot out that says, this ballot measure is to determine whether people even need to vote again, since we have such perfect rulers in such high places in Sacramento. And they'd say, yeah, I mean, you bring them in from all these countries, they can't even read. Chicago, in the 1930s, I read, they used to give out $5 bottles of whiskey to voters to get them to vote Democrat. They don't have to do that now. Give them an Obama phone. Give them a food stamp. Give them a food stamp. Give them an Obama phone. Give them a welfare job. That's all. What do you need to give them a $5 bottle of whiskey? Give them everything else for nothing. They'll do whatever you want for 1,000 years. So I want to talk about something else right now, which is what I alluded to in the last hour and led up to in the last hour, and I'm a very logical man. And sometimes paralogical. I didn't say illogical. Notice the difference. Thing called logic, illogic, and paralogic. I'll let you look up what paralogic is. I want to give you a paralogical discussion, which is about how the entertainment industry was once used, and very effectively at that, to fight Hitler, to fight Tojo, and help win the war. In other words, they demonized the enemy. I studied the propaganda of World War II. There have been whole books written about it. If you take the time to study it, you can Google it probably, find it. You'll see that the Germans were drawn in a certain way to make them ugly. The Japanese were made with buck teeth to make them ugly. They were demonized. Well, you say, well, that's repugnant. Yeah, well, through our eyes, it's repugnant, but through the eyes of people fighting fascists, it was war. Now, the enemy uses propaganda to create pictures of Jews, for example. Have you seen any of the ugly pictures of Jews painted by Arabs in the Palestinian territories? Have you seen any of that? Haven't seen that? Hasn't made it to your local newspaper? Have you seen any of the propaganda against Americans being promulgated around the world? So they're engaging propaganda. They're painting you as oafs and idiots, drug addicts, sex addicts, and eliminating all of the hardcore of this country. And so what I'm saying is simple. It's not that complicated. Make believe we're just talking here. It's very simple. I'd like to see movies that show the Islamo-fascists for the vermin that they are. I want to see one movie showing them raiding a village, a Yazidi village, and killing the husband, but before they kill him, make him watch them rape his wife and his daughters, and then take his daughters away in slavery, and then kill the man. I'd like to see reality shown once, to put the fear of God into the idiots in this country before they themselves wind up on the chopping block. Write that down. Did that shock you? Did you get a feeling from what I just said? Did those words go through you like bullets? Well, let me tell you something. Get ready for the machine gunning of this show. I got a 50 cal in my hands, and I'm not going to stop firing the bullets today. It's the end of the road. When I see the massive influx into Europe, and I see Hussein in the White House, I see Merkel in Germany, I see Cameron in England, I realize that there's no one who could save the West other than the people themselves. These are useless or collaborators. There's no other word. Either they're useless idiots or collaborators with the very enemy that would destroy our civilization. Write that down. And don't talk to me about Bernie Sanders' underwear and tell me how good the imitation was by Larry the synagogue jester. I know how clever these boys are. I grew up with them. They laughed their way to the billionaires circle by mocking everything decent in this country. First they mocked their own rabbi, then they mocked the temple, then they mocked their mother, then they mocked their father, then they mocked the nation, then they mocked Boy Scouts, then they mocked Christians, then they mocked the family. You think I don't know who they are? The audience can never get enough of it. You can feed people swill and they will eat it because it tastes good. You just keep shoveling swill at them and they'll eat it. You don't want to give them healthy food because they don't like it. So if you're in the business of shoveling swill and the pigs eat it, you'll get very wealthy indeed. That's how Katzenberg, Ratzenberg, and others have become engorged on money and wealth and power. And that's why they can spend their later years chasing men, chasing women, whatever they want to do, and laughing at everybody. Living on 200, 300-foot yachts, laughing at the world, cursing the world, the very world that gave them their power, still mocking it, still not seeing the world for what it is. So, you say, am I painting to a darker picture? Mike lighten up? No, Mike's not going to lighten up. No, not today. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I'll wake up in another mood tomorrow. But right now, I'm focused on what's going on. I'm focused on the Hijra, the grand strategy to overtake the West and convert it to Islam. I went back to Mecca, 622 CE. I told you how transcripts were found on documents from ISIS of invading Europe. I talked about intelligence services warning the West, but no one paying attention. I talked about any country that accepts massive immigration from Islamic nations as committing suicide. I talked about Lebanon, once a predominantly Christian nation, only 75 years ago. Paris in the Midwest, Mideast, commercial banking.